It's time to tinker and talk the night away. Grab your glue and paints, we're back again. It's model making day. From classic cars to soaring planes and steam trains on the track. Whether die-cast builds or part work kits, there's no turning back. So let's tinker and talk, just you and me, building dreams from plastic, one sprue at a time. You see, whether sanding down or fitting parts, we share the joy, that's how it starts. Come along, let's tinker and talk the night away. Oh, got a Mustang here and a Spitfire too, maybe a steam train. The smell of glue, the sound of chat, in this world we all remain. Got a tip or trick, then drop it in chat. We build as friends, not just fans. This bench is open, the stream is live. Come lend a helping hand. Yeah, we tinker and talk with laughs and care. The hobby's better when you've got good folks to share. From sanding wheels to fixing wings, we celebrate the little things. So come on in, let's tinker and talk the night away. Screws and glue, just me and you, talking shop till the model's through. A misstep here, a perfect fit. We cheer each other every bit. Let's tinker and talk under workshop lights, chasing calm and joy through long creative nights. From revel kits to die-cast dreams, we're builders, makers, part of a team. It's Tuesday night, let's tinker and talk the night away.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Tinker and Talk Tuesday. So, I've got the Lego DB5. As you can see, you may have seen on social media earlier, I've organised pretty much every part for the boot. The rest of it, I think, is just the roof and then putting the wheels on. So, shouldn't take very long. I'm pretty sure it's not going to take the full hour. So, I've got another DB5. That's the Agora Models No Time to Die DB5. And hopefully, we'll do a little bit more of the packs and potentially get the rear axle done. And I think I need to finish off the front section here with the steering linkage, etc. So yeah, it's all about DB5s tonight. So it should be good fun. As I said, I've got the first, I don't know, about 20 stages I think I've laid out there. And it's all up to where we put the boot in. And then it's just building up the roof. So should be very straightforward, hopefully. And I shouldn't need to be looking for parts because I've organised those as well. So I'll take over the workbench and we'll get on with it. Hey Ian, Ed. Right, so the first thing we're going to be doing is the rear window, and then we'll move on to the boot. So, as I said, I have actually organised all of these parts, so it really shouldn't take too long to find bits. Right, so got that bit of black going on to there, and then we need to create two of these little items, like so. and like so. Now I have been working on the Agora models diorama. I've got a couple of files set up for laser engraving. They've winged their way along to Mike, who's got a bigger laser cutter than me, and will hopefully do a bit of laser engraving for me. Oh, and I've also been working on the dolly for the car as well, so I'll show you that in a bit as well. Right, I've got these two bits are going to go there and there. So much easier organising your parts first. I crashed the party at, for the Hobby Time modelers on Sunday night and their Sunday fun day, and Ian was trying to do some over at Pitstain Hobbies. He was trying to do some Lego and couldn't find all the parts and gave up halfway through. We've got those going on there, like so. And then we need those, and they are going that there and that there, and then these grey ones are going on the top here. And then it's actually going this way around. I just assumed it would go that way, but nope. Using some creative Lego techniques, and that's going to click in like so. So that's the rear window. Pop that to one side because I think we don't need that for the minute. We got those together. Then we have that going on there and that going on there. Now, I don't know we've got to build two of these, but they're opposite ways around. This is actually the rear side window. And that goes like that. Then we need all of these parts. And this blue piece has that square on the top. And then we have that on top of there, that little wedge shape. This rod is then going in the bottom there, followed by this red one. And then that is clipping into there. And then we have another wedge shape there, that clear block there, and then another wedge shape going there. So that makes that little edge. Now we do need a sticker, and I've lost where I put them. There they are. And it's sticker number 11. Try and work out which way it goes. It's going to go this way. I think we want it in line with that bottom edge. Probably going to be better. Try and do it from this way. Always very impressed with Lego how they managed to do their colour match for printing. I think my son's got Dobby somewhere. Again, he loses patience. And I'm not really interested in Harry Potter, so I haven't done it either. Right, so with that white clip, it's going to go onto that other white section. So that now sits that up. I just got to build the same thing up for the other side. So with that there, that going on there. I really thought those white little handle pieces were going to be the hinge for the boot. But clearly not. Oh, sounds interesting, Mark. Look forward to that. So with that going on top there, that's going in there. Then we have that there, and this window going that way around. Then we've got to build that side mechanism. Pretty sure all this does is just raise up that that section to make the curved window. So I've got that going in there. We have that going on top there. That then goes in the bottom. And that goes like that. And then that one goes like so. Then we've got that square going on there, and then the two wedge pieces. Like that. Excellent. And then we need that other sticker. And this one's going to go this way. Again, trying to get it lined up with that edge. Like so. And then this is going to pop into that space. And get it lined up. There it goes. So we've got the side of the car looking like that. Right, now I think we can just put that to one side for a second while we build the bulletproof shield. We're going to start off with that. With that there, and in the middle, and then at the end. And then we have that yellow one in there with the hole in. And that grey one just there. That white piece. Two black pieces. Then we have these two grey pieces looking like that. Then with it that way around, we want these wedge pieces facing this way. Like so. Bring the car back over. And this is going to connect onto the mechanism. So in theory, if I do this, we now have that functioning. And then we just got to put these two items in the boot. Like so. Right, put that to one side because now we are just creating the boot lid. Oh yeah, and now we're waiting for basically the last shipment for the replacements. And the only reason, okay, we're waiting, and I can't even see if I've got them at a minute. Hold on. Here we go. The reason we've got a long wait, okay, is because of these two parts. These are a little bit of plastic, okay? These are what go down the side of the engine and just a detail piece. Now, as far as I can tell, the reason we're getting different parts is these will not slot in to the sides where the wings are, okay? Now, the reason they don't fit in is because they've got these lugs. From the instructions that I've seen, they don't have the lugs anymore. So they may have literally remolded this to not have the lugs. And we're being told to wait when we could just potentially cut those off and make them fit. But because it's the last shipment, they got to make these before they send us the next shipment. Because they can't put these in a jiffy bag apparently and send them to people. So yeah. Yeah, Willie's Jeep looks good. Not doing that one personally. Is that the SAS one or the IXO one? Got that blue bit to go in there. Ah, the SAS one. Yeah, I saw that at Telford actually. It looks pretty good. Oh, we've got this is going to be the revolving number plate, so we need to stick our number plates on. Make sure they're the right way up. Not necessarily following the order of the stickers that they have in the book. Just as the stickers come to hand. We're never going to display one number plate anyway, which would be the BMT one. Right, so that's our number plates. That's then going to sit like so. And then for the other side, so we've got that linking with that. Got the. That's interesting. Okay. I don't know if you remember, but I mentioned about not having a sticker here, but not on this side. Well, the sticker they've got here, the last one, which I thought might have been the one, is actually going on the boot lid. So they don't have one for the other side. Which I'm pretty sure it had it on both sides. So that might be a failing on Lego's part. Right, so stick that on there. That's then going to go on there, capturing the number plate. So it rotates nicely. And then we've got that piece going in there. Next up, we have that one and that one. We have those two. Then that piece goes on top. And then we have that piece, that piece, that piece, and that piece. And then for the center piece, we have that, which is going to form the boot handle. Before we put that in, just going to get our last emblem. Just get that stuck in there, and then we'll put that on like so. Put that to one side. Now we need this, and then we need to create 2 of these. One goes there. One goes there. We've got these 2 white pieces and the black piece in the middle. Then we have those 2 parts, followed by these 2 plates. Then we have those 2 parts going like that. We have that there, that there, that one there, and then finishing off with those 2, like so. And then we have these 2 ramp sections, which will join up like so. And then we have that. That's going to connect on there like that. And we have our boot. And now we can actually attach that somehow to those 2 black claws that we had before. So that now goes up and down, hopefully. And get it clicked in properly. And then hopefully, with any luck, we have the bulletproof shield that comes up and down as well. To me, that's back to front, but it is the way it's way around it is. I'd be tempted to change those for solid blocks. Maybe there's a reason that it isn't. But we've got a boot that opens as well, like so. So that comes to the end of the stage of me having everything prepared. But as you can see, hopefully, most of the bits are sort of all laid out in an order. So I should have no problem finding parts fairly swiftly. So you need 3 of those, 1 of those, 2 of those. You need 5 of these displays, 4 of those singles, 1 flat plate, 2 of those, 2 of those, and 2 of those. And we kick off this bit with that going on there, that then joining onto there, 3 going there, 1 of these going there. No, something's wrong. Have I got a longer one of these? No. Oh, I see. That goes like that, with a single dot going on there. And then on top of that, we have 3 of these, like so. And another one of those on the end there. Oops. And 1 or 2 of those going on there. Looks like 1. Then that doesn't look even. Oh, I see. We need to put that there, that flat piece there, and then we have these 2 pieces that need to go here. And then that piece can go on there. That makes sense. And then we have these little 5 little speedos. Try and get them all the right way up. They are all the same. It would also been nice to have them different, but it is only Lego, and they've only got so many printing faces, haven't they? So that's our dashboard. Why do I have a piece left over? Definitely asked for 2 of those, yeah. Why do I have a 3 piece left over? I'll tell you why. Because it should go on the front of these. It should go there, and then these go on. Try and get them aligned again. Best I can. There we go. That's better. That wasn't part of it, was it? It's a bit that's just randomly moved across. Right, then this is going to go and sit in here somehow. Fill that up. Yeah. Right, so that's our dashboard in, like so. Right, now we need the windscreen. Give the windscreen a bit of a clean off. That's a bit better. Right, so we need this white piece, which is going to go at the bottom here. Clip. With 4s or 3s, looks like a 4. And then a 2. And then we need another clip. Like so. And then we've got 2 more stickers. I think that's the last 2 stickers. So on this side we need number 9. Which way up is it going? So on this side, number 9, and it looks like it goes straight down the side here. Try and get it lined up with the edge there, and then number 8 goes on the other side. Again, just going to line it up with the straight edge of the windshield. Like so. And then we can put that in the car onto those white pieces. Excellent. And then we are on to building the roof. So we need one of those. We need one of those. 2 of those. One of those. One of those. One of those. I think that's it. So start off with those 2 together. that on top, that on the end, that underneath, that one like that, and then that one on top, like so. That's then going to go into that point and onto that point there. Right, now we do have the full roof section, or half roof section, I guess, because it's not the ejector side of it. So start off with those. Then we have this plate. Hey, Bagdis. And then we've got that one there. And then for the next bit, we need that. 3 of those. 1 of those. 1 of those. I think that's it. So these 3 are going to go here. This yellow hinge piece is going to go there. Missed out this piece, which is going to go there. That piece is going to go there. The black one is going to go into that point. Not sure we've got that hinge piece. There must be a reason for it. Then we have that piece there. That piece there. 2 of those there. So much easier when you organise your Lego. Then we have this piece, which is going to go there. 1 of these white pieces is going to go that way around, and 1 is going to go that way around. Then cover that up with that and that. Right, we'll then flip that over. Then we have that going in there, that one going in there, and then that's ready to attach to the car. Excellent. So apparently we need to just double check that still functions, and it does. Now it says about 1 of these, but I can't see where it goes at the minute. Oh, I see. On the front there. Move that to one side. We have this plate, which is also going to be the roof. This would be the lifting part of the roof, I guess. Please explain, because I'd need to look it up too. I was going for a boat. Those going in there. Nope, not yet with the car. Too eager. We need that plate. 2 of these with holes in. And another one of those. That's then going to sit in there. And then pull that back out and we can grab car. And that's just going to slide on like that, apparently. And then we have 2 of these plates. I see that's going to link those 2 together and hold the roof in place. Like so. Right, so that's our roof mechanism. Right, we're going to create the last seat now. Hey, Steve. That goes there, that goes there. That one goes in there. That goes there. There you go. I estimated last week it'd take me about half an hour. It's already half past. And that was obviously with me sorting the Lego out. Last week it would have probably taken me a lot longer. That goes there. That one goes there. We have a solid one there. 2 of these ones with holes in. Then that one. Then we have that. And that. And then we can finish off the side of the seat. Just like that. And we all know where this is going to go. So that's going to go down over the top of there. Right, let's see if it works. It works! It went back in the car, but it worked. Let's try it again. Okay, I like that. It's quite fun. Right, so the last step has got to be the wheels now. I don't know how true it was, but I did hear at one point that Lego was the biggest manufacturer of tyres in the world. Like, outperforming like Pirelli and that sort of thing. But obviously at this scale. Don't know if there is any truth behind that. Right, so we've got those going in there. And I guess we've got to cut these off. Or actually, let's pull off, which is good. We need these little black bits. That'll then go on there and on there. These two, like that and like that. And then you pop these on the car. And that is our Aston Martin finished. Why have I got this piece left over? They don't normally have spares that big. I'm ignoring it. I will find out maybe after the stream, but I'm going to ignore it for now. Right, so if I just switch camera, switch to that one. So we can show you all the different gadgets and things that it's got quickly. So got the guns working, so they work really nicely now. Obviously we have a fairly well detailed engine. We have the concealed phone. Probably not going to show you this bit too well, but in there we have the screen that flips over for the navigation. And also we have the ejector seat. That worked better. And you can't put the roof down unless that's down. And then finally we have the bulletproof screen. I say finally, there's actually one other thing. These bits we put in the boot, you can take that off. You can take that centre black bit out, maybe. Not easily. And then the idea is that you can put that on there. And then I assume that goes on there, and then that goes on there. And then you've got the tyre slasher as well. So it's got to be something that goes across there, isn't there? There we go. Missed off that section. That looks better. And I'll probably investigate the magazine and check that out later. But for now, that is one Aston Martin completed. I'll just put that seat in there. And we move that onto one side. Right, let's clear up that, clear up that. Right, so, got that piece spare as well, and I don't think we use that in this one, but we'll ignore it. So let's switch to that camera again. And let's see if I can change those lights. There we go. So this is where we got to last time. Now, one thing I haven't done, just realised, is I haven't pulled up the Agora instructions on this laptop. So I'll just do that now. I do have pack 3, 4 and 5 here. Now, I can't remember if I need anything else from pack 3 or whether I did all of pack 3. I expected to see a steering rod in there, so maybe I have done 3 already. So I might not need 3. I will at some point because I need it for the engine. But the engine's not actually going to be mounted into the car, so that will be on a crane or hoist. Just find the right set of instructions. We'll download pack 4. Yep, I already know which Lego I want next. And again, it's a retired set. The DB5 was a retired set when I got it. But I want to get the Jurassic Park Explorer one, the Ford Explorer, where you've got the 2 cars and the T-Rex. I think that would be quite good. Yeah, it looks like I do need pack 4. So where did I get to with pack 4? That's right, I just assembled this. So I need the steering components. Now, as I said, with the diorama, I can pretty much set this at any point of the assembly as I like. And I'm probably going to do it where it's got the discs, etc., ready for wheels to be fitted and a little bit of the interior. But primarily it's going to look still like it needs a bit of work. And I don't know how they fit, but I'd like to be able to put the lights in the car, the headlights, but leave the guns to one side and potentially have them on a shelf so that they can be seen as this is going to be added to the car later sort of thing. Along with a few other Easter eggs. I've started to 3D design a shelving system that looks similar to what is in the Q branch underground workshop, I guess. So I'm going to have, although if you look at the bay for this, for the DB5, it doesn't have any of that shelving. So I am a little bit making it up as I go along. So it's not going to be screen accurate diorama. But who's to say that this didn't travel around a different bay with some shelving in it? I just want to be able to put a few like little Easter eggs and things in, so little tiny bits of detail. Right, so what have we got here? Steering rod, do I need to do that? Yes, I probably do. The other thing I'm obviously thinking about is like, what am I going to be adding to the car, and what don't I need? So the steering rod's going to go in, but I don't think it had a steering wheel in the movie. But again, I think it was just the monocoque shell with a couple of seats chucked into it. Right, so we're going to need that piece and that piece. Does that have a right and a wrong end? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, I like the G1 Soundwave, but if I did that, then I'd need to have Optimus Prime, and then I also need Bumblebee as well. So, you know, it's like a set. Yeah. I'll just take one out of the Supra. They won't notice it. Right, we need a pin for this. So you've got a pin that's going to go through here. Hopefully through the little ball on here. Get that pushed in all the way. Might need my pliers. Right, so I've got that in there. And then on the other end, we need to do the same with this piece. So that goes in there. Through that little ball. Can't get it lined up. Right, in there. Like that. Why is that not going in? Goes through there. Goes through there. There you go. Now it's in. So that's going to sit with that little gear in there. Should have a D-shaped thing facing upwards. You should sit in the cradle as shown. Turn the steering link so that the D-shaped hole has the flat side orientated upwards. Not seeing a D-shaped hole. Oh, that end. So something we could have changed at any point in this build then. Right, so D-shaped hole, flat edge, facing upwards. That way. Done. Thanks, Chris. I found it. Friday's work, I think, Bergdis. Don't know what else goes on Friday. I know, I think the Hobby Time Modelers does something, but that's not until much later. Well, certainly late for the UK anyway. Right, so now we need the steering rack. And this can clearly only go in one way. At the end of the gear teeth circled under the chassis and up through the highlighted triangular opening. Oh, does it go on top? Like that? Nope, that doesn't look right. A picture of it actually fitted. Yeah, that's not making sense. It can only go that way up, can it? Because it's got to engage in that teeth. Presumably they've got a coherent match up with if I put something on upside down here, they be higher? do I need to compress those to get them to be up here? And it then pulled up down. I can get it to fit, but there seems to be a lot of tension on it if I did it like that. Who's built this before? Something doesn't look quite right. I just switch. So that's obviously got to go onto there because that's the gear. But there seems to be a lot of travel to actually be able to get it to fit with the rest of the steering linkage. Is that correct? There seems to be loads of tension on it. Take steering rod, fit the end with the gear teeth circled under the chassis and up through the highlighted triangular opening. Yep, so it's definitely going through there. Fit the end of the steering rod through the triangular opening on the other end. Yep, done that. Just the parts that the wheel hubs are pointing straight forward and line up with the rod columns. Twist the steering rod to engage the teeth of the steering gear. And the steering gear's D-shaped hole should be oriented as shown in step 6. Squeeze the suspensions firmly. So yeah, okay, I'll go with that then. Now what do we need? DS24 screw. No, they're not the wrong way around. The instructions do say squeeze firmly, so I think that is actually correct. I think it's just under tension. Because even if I had these the wrong opposite way sort of thing, those would be facing the opposite direction. And I think there are two separate parts as well. I don't think I got them at the same time. And if I had it the other way up, these would be on the top part, not the lower part. And they're definitely not on the top part in the instruction as far as I can see. No, they're definitely on the lower part, so I'm going to go with this. I think I just need to put it under tension. Just grab a bit of oil. Right, which one does it say to do first? May not be a right order, right or wrong order. The right wheel hub. So this one first. So that's pointing straight. That's lined up. That D-shaped hole is not lined up, so that's got to go like that. And that looks like it's going to go about there, I think. So that's got to come like this. Then we need another one for the other side. Yeah, quite flex in this. But at the same time, also scary how much tension I had to put on it. I think it's metal. Right, so that should operate the wheels now, in theory. Yep, looks good. Could have probably put some grease on there, but that'd be fine. Right, so that's those done. Line the mold bar with the assembly with the flat side facing you, as shown. And then that's presumably going to go over the top of these points. Yep. So like that, and like that, or has it got to go through that gap? Work it out. Fit the bar through the same openings. Yeah. So that does need to go through there. Try that on like that. And then that's going to sit top of there and on top of that other one, I guess. If I can get it to that point. Oh, I see it's stuck like that. There we go. It's got a little cradle that it needs to sit in, so that's fine. Excellent. So with that in there, what do we need to use? We're not securing that to the top of that for the minute. Doesn't look like it. Carefully turn assembly over, and we need those brackets. So spin that over like that. That goes in there like that. And to be fair, I think this little section is probably the only thing I'm going to get done tonight, considering it's a couple of minutes to 9. DS20. Just dipping these in some oil. Oops. Get that one in there as well. And I'm sure I must have to screw, yes. Why didn't we do that when we had it this way up in the first place? We now have to put in some PS14 screws in the top of here. Put one in there. And the other one in there. Oops, completely missed a hole there. Come on. Of course, changing the settings is not going to make any difference, it's not linked to that. I need to stretch this bar out. There you go. Is that going into plastic part? Right, so that's the anti-roll bar done. And then we've got a couple more parts here. Left and right steering rod holders. And I think I can see where they go. They're going to push into the side there. And in the side just here. And then, how do we secure those in place? A DS03 screw. Which are these ones? That's going in. Where's it actually going in? Oh, it goes in the top. Right, so that is it for stage 25. Obviously, I'm doing this a little bit out of order, but that's because I'm not doing the whole build. What I will show you though is the other thing I'm working on. Is this. So this is hopefully going to be the dolly for it. Now, I just had those clamped there because I was gluing it earlier. And if I can find the other section of rod. So as you can see, this will be fully adjustable. So for the length, etc. That'll sit under the car. And then each of these 4 posts will have a rod in it, which will have like a caster at the bottom and then a little seat at the top. And again, those will be adjustable side to side. And as I say, lengthwise, it will be adjustable for most vehicles. Obviously, I'm only going to use it for this one, but I might have a future use for it. But it will have a sort of a fully working paint dolly, I guess. I think that's what they're called. I did have at one point a picture of it. So that's sort of what I'm going for. So it's an approximate, but that is how it's going to work. I will drill some holes through here and have this sort of locking mechanism so I can set it to a size. Same with here, there'll be multiple holes along the side and for the adjustment up and down. So that's how it is at the minute. I haven't done any more work to this tonight, whereas I could have probably done, mainly because I only glued these about 8 hours ago, and it takes 24 hours really for that to fully cure. So that's why I've just sort of left that for now. But that's where I am with the Agora diorama. And I say Mike's got bits. I'll switch camera and I'll finish up. Just going to make everyone's Echo Dot go off. Alexa, turn off the workbench lights. That's a bit better, less shadow. Right, so that's where I am with the Agora build. As I said, Mike is kindly going to be doing some etching and engraving on some large pieces of wood for the main bulk of the diorama, which would be the front wall, the rear wall within the tunnel, and the 2 tunnel side walls. I'm still undecided yet how I'm going to do the arch bit within the tunnel, mainly because it's got a couple of skylights in it. So hopefully what I'm going to try and do there is actually have some lighting so it'll be lit properly. I still want to do a little festoon type light on the side because you do see that in the movie. And then it's all going to be about the window dressing, I guess, of the tunnel. So I want to do the shelving, as I said. I've got a file for that, or I'm going to start making a file, depending on whether I like the one that I've seen. I sort of do, but whether it's quite right, I don't know. So I might design my own. And then on that shelving, there's going to be like little Easter eggs. I want to do like a little miniature version of the golden gun. I want to do a little mini Wayne head with Odd Jobs bowler hat on top of it. Various different bits and pieces. Maybe the mobile phone from Tomorrow Never Dies that he uses to control the BMW. So a few little Easter eggs that hopefully, as people walk around and see the model and the diorama, they might see something new every single time if they look at it more than once, and then try and work out all the little Easter eggs that are in there. So that's where I am with that one. Hopefully have something else for you next week. I'm not actually sure what I'm going to do next week. Maybe put something in the comments below and tell me what you want to see. I've got Flying Scotsman, I've got the ugears GT40, I've got a few more plastic kits now actually. I've got a new F14 Tomcat, I've also got, I can't remember what that one is now. P38J Lightning. So, got a couple of plastic kits as well. So, let me know if you see this after the live stream. Let me know in the comments, and maybe you can influence what I do next week, because at the minute I have no idea. But thank you very much for joining me, and hopefully I'll see you next week on the next Tinker and Talk Tuesday. Cheers.